We always have clients, individuals in our life that we want to offer and impart our advice, our wisdom and experience upon, and find that sometimes they just don't listen to what you've got to say. And coming from a position of as I said before, experience and wisdom, you know what you've got to offer is valuable, and you're like, why don't you just listen to what I've got to say, apply it, and then you'll get the results that you want? And that can be a pretty frustrating process, and especially if you have clients that have come to you for your help and expertise, and yet they're still not listening to you. So with advanced conversational hypnosis, rather than giving suggestions and advice and all those kind of great things to help your client resolve or achieve a certain outcome, what we do with an advanced conversation is take a little bit of a different angle on how to get our client to create the changes that they want. And firstly, if you've already watched some of my other content, first we take the perspective of learning to understand the way our client thinks, not the way that we think or the way that we think is the right way to think. It's understanding the way that our client thinks. And then once we have got into that flow of the client expressing and exploring within themselves the way that they think, and that momentum continues to go on, then we can start asking questions that will direct our client towards finding that solution for themselves. Because when the client comes up with their own solutions, they are much, 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 much more likely to take action on those solutions than as if we were to offer them our solutions or strategies or experience that we believe is right. Naturally, within all of us, when someone else tells us what to do, doesn't matter how genuine it or intentionally great, positive it is, there is always a natural resistance, because there's a part of us, our inner being, that knows what's right for us. We don't need anybody else's advice or experience to take us where we want to be. We've got that inner voice within ourselves. We just need to learn to trust it and get used to accessing it so it can guide us in that right direction. And so, as I mentioned before, we're going to guide the client into a space where they can come up with their own solutions that are going to work best for them. And by doing so, we empower them. And when a client creates their own solutions and begins to take action on those solutions that they have come up with, that's going to build a lot of confidence and trust within themselves that is then going to take them even further into creating and achieving more of whatever they want to achieve in their life. So when you look at adding value to your service, rather than just looking at the value that you offer, that you could offer and that you're going to get your client to or guide them towards creating the health and well-being status, whether at a physique or a performance level, or whatever it might be. Rather than just looking at those small achievements, we want to be able to really gain a perspective of what is the higher value that we can add. And when we can add that empowerment and that trust and that confidence within themselves at that deepest level, that then like spits out into many, many, many dimensions that you will forever have been able to add that value to your client to.